Hello, my quilty friends. It's Stacy of Stacy Creates Stuff, and today we are going to make this quilt in under 7 minutes. Of course, that's YouTube time, so in actuality, it took a few more than 7 minutes to make, but I did make it in a day. This is Tilda's Cozy Stripe quilt, and it is a fabulous way to use a selection of her fabrics or other fabrics to create this beautiful set of coin blocks separated by these sashing strips. In her original instructions, she has you cut each individual rectangle, and I'm going to give you a method that makes that process go much faster. So let's get going. The clock is ticking. I have 3 of the colorways of the strips. I have the green, the browns, the reds, and now I'm getting ready to sort the purples. So you want to lay out your strips in the order that you want them to appear in the strip that goes down the quilt. So I am personally doing mine, keeping the color families together with the lightest to darker shades, lighter to darker. I'm going to slide that over just a little bit. So here I have the purples ready to go. Now the purple does have this neutral in there, so I'm going to put that down first. And then I think I'll do this one. And ends with that. Now this circles back around, so when I ultimately sew those long strips together, this green set will also be here. And I think that that works as well. All right, so now I find that the easiest thing is to work in the color families. So I'm going to break them apart into their color family. And I'm going to go ahead and sew one of each strip. I have 2 of each color, but I'm going to sew, for instance, this strip, and it's a full-length strip. It's currently folded in half, to this strip, and then to this one, and then to this one, and to that one, until I have a strip set. And I will have 2 strip sets of each color family, 2 purple, 2 green, 2 red, 2 brown. Well, let's do that. Press all the seams in one direction, and we'll come back. Now that we have all of the strip sets sewn together, so I have 2 sets of each colorway there, then it is time to cut them apart. So I'm just going to lay out an entire strip set and come over and trim off all the selvage. And then cut them the width required for the pattern. I'm going to go ahead and cut as many as I can out of each strip set. Occasionally you will need to re-straighten your strip set. This is a very forgiving quilt pattern, so don't fret if your cuts are ever so slightly off. It'll all work out. In the Tilda pattern, she has you cut each of these rectangles that make up a strip set individually, and then you would be sewing each of these little rectangles together many, many times. So of course, doing it as a strip set will save you a ton of time. Just to remind you, this pattern is available free from Tilda's website, and kits using the Sanctuary collection, as I have here, are available from my favorite quilt shop, Vintage Pink and Green. You'll find links to Tilda's free pattern called Cozy Stripe in the description and in the pinned comment below. I spell cozy with a Z, and on her website it is spelled with an S. So you will want to make sure that you search for COSY when looking for the pattern. It is one of her older patterns, so you would have to go through many, many, many pages of sorting through. It's much easier to just search for the word cozy. I have now cut all of my strip sets apart, and I've laid them out in the color groupings how I want the order to go. So it's going to go red, purple, green, brown, red, purple, green, brown. It's going to keep repeating. I'm going to be sewing one of my reds to the purple to make a long column. So I'll be sewing these ends together, and then I'll add on a green and then a brown, and then I'll come back and add a red to the brown until I have 7 in that first column, that block column. And then, so let's go ahead and just pick those now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to be ending that column with the green. Brown would be the next one. So my next column of blocks is going to start with the brown, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the next one will start green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next one will start with the purple. And I'm going to continue doing that until I have 8 block columns. I am using 3 chambrays from Tilda to act as the vertical pieces that go in between the pieced strips. So I have 3 different colors that I thought went really nicely with the Sanctuary collection. And I am just cutting those strips by following the instructions. And I will be sewing the same color strip into one very long strip, which I will then cut into 3 pieces that are the length of the quilt. When you cut each of those very long sashing strips into the 3 equal parts that serve as the length of the quilt, my recommendation is that you measure the length of your pieced strips first. My piece strips came out a couple of inches longer than what the pattern called for, just because there are so many seams, and I guess my 1/4 of an inch was a little too scant. And so all those seams made for a little bit longer strip than what the pattern says you should get, which is fine. I have plenty of sashing to accommodate that. But if you cut the strips according to what the length is in the pattern, you may come up a little short or potentially a little long. So measure the strips, average them out, and cut the lengths of the sashing that amount. The sashing strips get sewn to the blocks here, the little coins as they are, and I have clipped at the top and then also at the bottom, and then again halfway through and a 1/4 of the way through, so that I can make sure that I evenly spread out and distribute the strip. All of your block strips may not be exactly the same length, and cutting all of the sashing strips the same length goes a long way to evening out the overall dimensions of the quilt. My friends, I hope that you enjoyed learning how to make this very simple, very quick, beautiful quilt. Now, the pattern for this quilt is free off of Tilda's website. Please note that she uses the European spelling for cozy, and that is C-O-S-Y. So if you search for cozy, C-O-Z-Y, the pattern will not come up. If you love the beautiful Sanctuary fabrics that I chose for this version of the quilt, then kits are available from my favorite quilt shop, Vintage Pink and Green. Links are in the description below, and I've also put the QR code beside me. Now, if you enjoy Tilda and her beautiful quilts, I have a whole playlist of Tilda quilts that I have done, including this one that also can be made in a day. Check it out.